Good evening, everyone. You look fabulous. What a night. You guys are out on a school night. You ready for this? Yes, this program is going to be remarkable. Just all the people that are going to be here. You're going to have a wonderful time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's so good to be back at the Hope Global Forum and to see so many of you out there, so many friends, so many people that I've met since doing this before. You know, in 2020, Operation Hope launched a bold initiative, and that was to grow 1 million Black businesses by when? 2030. 1 million new Black businesses by when? 2030. That's right. The partner to sign on for this, Shopify, with a 10-year commitment. In a moment, we're going to watch some of the best entrepreneurs from around the country compete for cash and some other prizes. But first, we have someone very special we want to welcome to the stage, Mr. Brandon Davenport, Head of Equitable Commerce Initiative for Shopify. I went that way too.
Wow. This is incredible. Hope Global Forum, how y'all feeling tonight? Love to hear it. So I know it's raining outside, but it's about to rain a little bit in here because we got some money to give out tonight. I'm so excited for that. So, it's an honor to be here to represent Shopify and to embrace what it means to be an entrepreneur. First and foremost, I'd like to thank John for having a vision that brought us all here together. And for every great leader, they know the importance of having a great team. And so thank you to the Operation Hope team for putting this together with such detail and such care. We love working with you. Thank you. Back in 2020, at the heart of the most recent widespread advocacy for racial justice in this country, John had a vision. And he saw an opportunity to advance people in this country through entrepreneurship. The call went out for corporate participation. And because of the mission-aligned nature of that vision, Shopify answered that call. Shopify is a company that's making commerce better for everyone. And out of that, the 1 Million Black Business Initiative was born. An effort to create wealth, prosperity, and self-actualization. And we are proud to celebrate year 2 of this 10-year commitment. I am head of equitable commerce at Shopify, and my team leads Shopify's commitment to achieving the aims of the 1 Million Black Business Initiative. Our mission for our equitable commerce is to make successful entrepreneurship more accessible for Black and Indigenous entrepreneurs. In order to make commerce equitable, however, we must first acknowledge and then address the barriers that drive inequality, like lack of access to capital, mentorship networks, and location. And just like the people you're about to hear from in a few minutes, I too am a business owner. And I understand firsthand the challenges we face as Black entrepreneurs to start, build, and scale our businesses. But I also know firsthand our collective superpowers, being resourceful, relentless, setting the tone for the culture, and our deeply rooted connection to our community. Black businesses are winning, and they will continue to thrive. And today we celebrate successful entrepreneurship. But now, imagine a world where we've eliminated the systemic barriers and leveled the playing field. For entrepreneurs to have equal access to capital, mentors, and unique selling opportunities that act as a catalyst for growth. While we can't change the course of history, we can do the work to make commerce better for everyone today, and we are. Let me not be mistaken, however. What we're talking about is not charity. It's a sound business strategy. Because when Black businesses are successful, as Americans, we are all successful. Achieving revenue parity in the US would add an additional $190 billion to the GDP. That's a win-win opportunity. As we sit here and watch these entrepreneurs passionately tell us why they deserve to win this competition, I invite each of you to unite across industry, intellectual capital, and influence, to participate in lowering those barriers that hamper entrepreneurial success. Whether it's personally or through your corporate wallet, shop, partner, and invest in Black-owned businesses. Now, without further ado, let's get this pitch competition started. Thank you, everybody.
That's right, let's do it, Brandon. Give Brandon another round of applause. Thank you. All right, we are going to get this competition started, so please welcome back to the stage the man to make it happen, Mr. Lance Triggs.
Giving out some cards for some coffee tonight. All right, well, are you ready? It's the pitch competition. We're so excited about these businesses coming from all around the United States, representing Seattle, Chicago, Atlanta, and many other cities. And so we're very excited. So let me introduce our judges. Can we have the judges come on out? You heard from Brandon Davenport with Shopify. Let's give him a round of applause. Michael Lang, who's a partner in insurance services with April. Give him a round of applause. And we have Paul Dissencoin, Sr., who's the Associate Public Affairs and Strategic Research for PayPal. Now, Paul has done a great thing, because I thought we were giving out some, Starbucks gift cards. But thanks to Paul and PayPal, we're giving out some real money. I'm talking about some real money. So thank you, Paul. Thank you. Now, for our first business to come up, we're very excited. All the way from Seattle, Washington, Jasmine Richards with BLK Sunflower. Come on out, Jasmine.
Hello, hello.
Thank you. I love
So you have a luxury sensory experience
Thank
at
you.
the palm of your hands. There you go. Little black boxes. Be scared. Don't be scared.
I know. I got
promise is good. Promise is good. Wow. What an honor. Go ahead and roll the tape.
It's a beautiful box.
So never in a million years would I have thought my pandemic project would bring me to a space like this. Like, I remember going to pick up my son from school, and they said, listen here, keep him. You can't bring him back. I'm like, what? Who's supposed to watch my son while I work? Like, that's what you guys are supposed to do. So I managed to pull myself away from my 16-hour Netflix binge, and then DoorDash, box wine. I was like, I have to do something. Money's getting low. Maybe $500 in my bank account. I made these candles a few months prior, and I was like, what do I have to lose? I am going to put these candles up on a website. Maybe took me 48 hours, no experience, Shopify website at that, right? And it managed to work well. So I launched Black Sunflower April 2020, and it exploded. And I quickly became a fierce competitor in the candle market. I cleared $300,000 in just 18 months, was featured in multiple publications, over 50 publications at that, multiple interviews. Like, I never thought that this is where I would be. And here's the thing, if it was not for Shopify, Operation Hope, 1MBB, Shopify Capital, I would not be where I'm at today. As of today, I have paid off over $70,000 in Shopify loans from my business, which is crazy. But the bigger Black Sunflower got, I was like, hold on. I need to be able to help more people. And so June 22, yeah, that month, I launched Black Sunflower Business Academy, where I help small businesses start, elevate, and grow. But one thing remains consistent. If you are running all the hats in your business, you cannot be efficient. One of the biggest game changers was when I started using a fulfillment center. And that fulfillment center actually allowed me the opportunity to do all the things in my business. And in just 3 years, I generated 7 figures for the Black Sunflower brand. So my goal is to create small business-friendly fulfillment centers, and our focus will be on reliable packing, storing, and shipping for small businesses, and especially candle makers, because by 2028, it'll be a $9.8 billion business. And now listen here, when I see problems, I don't see them as problems, but it's an opportunity to change processes. As we know, youth violence is an urgent crisis that historically stems from lack of economic opportunities, right? So intervention rather than detention and suspension is also known to, you know what? That's how we get our youth to expand their minds. So instead of sitting idle, because we all know what happens with an idle mind, right? Our fulfillment centers will be operated by our youth, with the first one right here in Atlanta. So we want to work with social emotional learning programs within the schools and other programs that are already doing this, because no use in recreating the wheel, but we want to create a curriculum that is transferable to show these young adults that you can start a business with little no revenue, as I did with Black Sunflower. $500 in my account maybe when I launched it. And on top of that, they'll also have the opportunity to work on their self-management, responsible decision-making, right, and relationship skills. So with our small business fulfillment centers and our youth business training programs, we will have the opportunity to not only give small business owners, as well as our youth, an opportunity to shine. Because you know what? After all, it does take a village, and we all have the ability to evoke change, inspire, and make things happen. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and I appreciate your time.
All right, all right, all right. The judges are waiting for you now.
Yes.
So, Paul, why don't I give you the first shot at the first question to Jasmine?
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, incredibly impressive, and you are doing a lot right now. I suppose my first question is, how are you balancing both growing your business while also managing the very important social impact work that you're driving?
Well, I would not be here if it wasn't for the opportunities that were presented to me. So balancing it out, I will not be here and I can't continue to move forward unless I give back. So one of my main things within my business and how I operate and run, I have a team that helps guide me along, as well as, like I said, if you wear all the hats, you can't efficiently grow. That's the hardest part, is finding those right team members, but no one can work with me unless you have the same heart and you're willing to create change and make things happen. So finding a team that has the same beliefs, goals, and drive to put people in rooms to help them grow, that's me.
That's great.
Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Michael, let's go to you next.
Yeah. First, fantastic story and mission that you're on, and loved hearing about the growth in the first 18 months of your business.
Yes.
If I looked 18 months moving forward, what does success look like to you, and what's it going to take to get there?
That is an amazing question, because just 3 months ago, I had to sit back and I had to redefine what my definition of success was and manage my ambition. So that was a great question that you had first off. So one of the things that, I'm so sorry, may you repeat your question?
Yeah, so just looking forward in the next 18 months.
Yes.
What does success
What's
look
success?
like for you?
Success is being able to say that I put opportunities in the hands of other people and allowing them to be in the position that I'm in. I have so many people that come up to me and say, Jasmine, I want to be just like you. I'm like, no, I don't want you to be like me. I want you to be better, because I'm going to give you the tools and the resources to not make the same mistakes that I did, because I definitely made a lot of them. But we learn and grow from those. And so if I can successfully say I've helped other Black businesses get to where I'm at and succeed past that, I've done my job.
Fantastic.
All right. Well, thank you. Let's give Jasmine a round of applause. Thank you, Jasmine. Now we have next up, Kayleen. Is Kayleen here? Kayleen is with Tasteful Vegan. And we have Kayleen McElveen.
Good evening, everyone. I want to just tell you just how much of a blessing it is to stand before you as the owner of Tasteful Vegan Frozen Desserts. So before there was Beyond Meat Burgers, there was a Black girl growing up in the inner city of Detroit as a vegetarian with limited options. We would go to family reunions and birthday parties and oftentimes leave empty with nothing to eat because there wasn't anything available for us to enjoy. but I was very fortunate and blessed to have a mom who never wanted her kids to be without. And so she was very innovative in teaching us how to transform meat dishes into plant-based feasts. And so with that information, I took that and began to share that knowledge with others. And in college, I started my first business as a vegetarian catering consulting, helping people that dealt with health issues and celiac disease develop recipes that would be able to help them to eat healthy. And as that continued to grow, I wanted to give people a tangible way to learn how to eat healthy. And so I authored the Daniel Feast in 2018, which is a plant-based cookbook. But it just wasn't enough. And so I realized, especially in the pandemic, in the midst of a time where everyone is grasping for a sense of normalcy, I wanted to provide a game-changing solution of health. And I thought one of the easiest ways to do that was through ice cream. And so in July of 2020, Tasteful Vegan launched serving top 8 allergen-free and naturally sweetened frozen desserts. And so we started with freeze pops and ice cream bars, and we started selling them in the farmers markets. But within a few months, we grew from the farmers markets into health food stores in West Michigan, including Harvest Health Foods and Meijer stores. And so knowing that as a business owner, to get to the next level, education is required. And so I participated in Operation Hope's 8-week entrepreneurship program just last year. And this year, I opened the very first dedicated top 8 allergen-free ice cream shop in the state of Michigan. And it has been, thank you, it has been an amazing blessing. We've had customers come as far as Denmark to be able to receive that. And we had kids and adults who've come to the ice cream shop for the very first time because they weren't able to because of celiac disease or nut allergies. Because we have a dedicated allergen-free facility, it's a safe haven for people to come and enjoy ice cream. And so I ask you and I invite you to invest $250,000 into Tasteful Vegan so that we can secure our operating space and continue to purchase the necessary equipment for the demands of the stores that are asking to bring Tasteful onto their shelves. We are growing in the number of stores that we have in Meijer and have an invitation from Whole Foods. And I realize as a vegan industry, it is booming. When business owners like Pinky Cole in 2020, when restaurants are closing, she's opening new restaurants. So it shows that demand and the need for vegan products. And I desire to see Tasteful Vegan be the first nationwide chain of ice cream shops that bring generational health to our communities. Thank you.
All right, all right. Oh, it's starting to heat up in here now. So, Brandon, we'll give you the next question for Kayleen.
Awesome. Great presentation, and thank you so much. So there's a debate that product is the thing that sort of drives the business forward, and some say that it's branding. Can you tell me, I'm a product guy, can you tell me how do you go about the process of designing, developing your products, and how do you know that it's going to be successful once you launch it?
That's an excellent question, especially because I have a vegan product. Because sometimes, especially when I opened up the ice cream shop, I almost didn't want to tell people it was vegan because they're like, oh, it's going to be disgusting. So it's been cool when people didn't know and they tried the product and then they came back like, oh, it's vegan, I like it. You know, so it was really the product sold itself. And then from there, customers began to, they did the branding and the marketing for me by sharing their stories. And that really helped the product to grow and reach more.
Cool, thank you.
Excellent, excellent question, Brandon. Paul?
Yeah, so again, incredibly impressive pitch, great story.
Thank you.
My question was actually along the same lines. As you expand into more stores and your product is standing up to other products next to it, how do you keep that personal touch of your brand and your story to connect to customers?
And that's one of the things I think is most important to me because the people that follow the brand, I call them my Tasteful family. And I always want to make sure that I'm involving customers, so I invite them on my website to offer suggestions for maybe different ice cream flavors that they have. And I want to make sure that because the reason that I do what I do is for them. And oftentimes the people that I'm reaching are people who felt neglected because they haven't had any options. So I never want them to lose their voice. So through the website and through Instagram, I stay connected to my customers so that they always recognize they have a voice.
Excellent. Let's give Kayleen a round of applause. Great job. All right, we're at the midway point. We got someone all the way from Chi-Town here. Get some love for Chi-Town. All right, well, we have the founder and designer for AdmireWear, Joshua Dixon. Let's give him a round of applause. Come on out, Joshua.
Here you go.
Thank you. Here you go. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Thank you, thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Joshua Dixon and I am the founder and designer of AdmireWear. And I know you may be curious about what happened to me, which is totally fine because I love curiosity. I'm a curious person myself. When I was 8 years old, I was attacked by our family 2 pit bulls. I lost 80% of my face, I lost both ears, I lost my nose and my upper and lower eyelid to my left eye. And yes, I still have my left eye, and no, I do not hate pit bulls because I cannot hate something that God gave life to. Though, thank you. Though it's been 15 years and 61 surgeries later, I'm not just a survivor of those things. I'm a survivor of PTSD, anxiety, depression, discrimination, sexual assault. And I'm not just a survivor of those things. I'm a survivor of mental health trauma. I'm a survivor of 2 suicide attempts. It wasn't until a few months into my recovery from my December 2020 suicide attempt where my counselor introduced me into the power of affirmations. And after that session, I was going downstairs looking into the mirror and I was about to do what I do very frequently, is judge myself for my flaws. But this particular time was the first time that I actually enacted love onto myself after the accident. I said, I admire you for not giving up, that we got this. It wasn't until after that moment I had the idea for AdmireWear, which is a love-based lifestyle branded community that makes it realize that your story is far from over. That though mental health is a very stigmatized topic, it is something that I can bring to someone's life to add love and hope and admiration from my vulnerability plus fashion, help save lives like mine and yours. Though originally I had a market audience of 15 to 32-year-olds, I realized that mental health and suicide affects everyone. That this is something that touches every household. This is something that many people have a hard time talking about. I've been able to help save lives like mine and yours and be able to share my story using affirmations, using love-based products that love people on days where they may not love themselves. And even though it's been 15 months since I started AdmireWear, and it's just me, but I make all of the clothing out of my room. I have the equipment, and I've been making orders out of my room delivered to people around the world. Ever since the start, there's been over 660 AdmireWear products delivered worldwide. Reaching over 330 orders total so far. But with my social media platform touching over hundreds of thousands of hearts combined on both social media platforms. And I don't think of AdmireWear customers as customers. I think of them as family. They're admirers. They're all people who have survived who have been through something, and we're all survivors in our own way. Everyone in this room has survived something, and that's something that I'm bringing to the table, is that fact that we all have something in common. Though we are different, we can find common ground, and that's how we can help save lives. It's been 15 months into Admireware. I have generated over $20,000 in gross revenue with a profit margin of 49%. And most of my sales, 98% of my sales, have all been sourced organically through making online social media content. And thank you. And I thank you all for being here today, because not only being on this stage, being on this platform, being a black kid from the south side of Chicago, you make tomorrow worth fighting for. You make my day, honestly. Like, it's awesome. You should give yourself a round of applause, because all of your stories is important.
All right. So, Michael, you got the next question.
I think I'll start. I think what everybody here is thinking, and that is such a powerful and inspirational message that you have built a fantastic business on. So, thank you. My question, and I think you kind of touched on it, was the success of people returning to buy the product. As you look forward at your strategy, what is your marketing strategy to keep people in the Admireware ecosystem, to keep them coming back?
Helping people feel inclusive, helping people know that their story is valuable, that they deserve to be heard, allowing people to not only get those cards, which they can use to give someone else who may be struggling, but allowing them to create conversations that we're not having enough of. I plan on in the future not only being able to move Admireware outside of my childhood bedroom where I fulfill stuff, but be able to move into a warehouse space that will have pop-up or retail space capabilities, to where I can invite the community in and we can all have these conversations, but also be able to wear our love on our sleeves or on our heart.
All right. Thank you, Mike, for that question. And one last one, Brandon.
Okay. Thank you for sharing your story and what inspired you to start your company. The beauty about being able to pitch thousands of people, and this is for each entrepreneur here, is that you'll now have a lot of new customers. So thank you, everyone, for supporting these businesses. I guess I don't really have a question in that, just make sure you guys do that, but I guess more so, how beyond the folks here tonight do you find your customers? Or not your customers, the family, the Admireware family, how do they shop you and learn about your brand?
Just making videos about my story. Understanding that though all of the trauma that I've been through, like, it's been 15 years and I've endured things that no one in 15 years should ever endure. But somehow God saved my life from that suicide attempt to help save others. And so making videos, by making videos and content and also asking them for feedback, allows me to not only create the conversations, but I'll also talk to them very frequently. I talk to my customers, communicate with them, be a person who they maybe could reach out to if they want to create the conversation, or they may be having a bad day. I have actually saved a few people from having a crisis by just by being available, which is something that we need in our community, is for people to be available just to listen. And before I finish, the one thing that has been really helpful is that I've been taking classes myself. Psychology classes, mental health classes, classes on suicide prevention, allowing me to educate myself so that I can better help anyone, or be able to create the conversation with mental health literacy so that people could feel more inclusive and feel like they have a plate at the table rather than just having a seat but not being voluntary to the conversation.
Thank you for the offer.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Well, let's give Joshua a round of applause.
Thank you.
I want some of those shoes. In the shoes. All right. Now we're down to our last contestant. And so we have a husband and wife business owner coming up. And so at this time, I'd like to invite Stacy Howell and Hollis Howell, the owners of Woodhouse Spa. Let's give them a round of applause.
Why? Simon Sinek, the author, wrote the book Why. And in this book, he leads us to discover why we make the choices and decisions we make. And my why with his why is our story. I'm Stacy Howell. I am a mother, I'm a business owner, a servant leader, and a caretaker of elderly parents. For the last 4 years, I was CEO of a nonprofit here in Atlanta whose mission was to move women from dependency to self-sufficiency who experience trauma in their lives. My husband, Hollis, a father, a servant leader, a Navy submariner in Desert Storm, now uses massage, he's careered in cybersecurity, but uses massage as part of his recovery for his damaged knees. Why? Because he took an oath to serve and protect, and in his sacrifice, he stands for good health and wellness as an ambassador. Together, we opened up our dream business, a Woodhouse Spa in Buckhead. It is an alternative to the hotel spas, and it's a luxury spa. You see, for the past 3 years, we lived through a dreadful pandemic. We were surrounded by fear, and the fear was politicized. We were in a state of confusion in the midst of losing lives. We were caused to isolate, quarantine, and simply rethink how we socially interact and socialize with our coworkers, our neighbors, our friends, and loved ones. Studies have shown that social isolation increases the risk of depression, cognitive, and physical deterioration. Opening a spa seemed to be the right business at the right time. People were starved for connection. You see, this is where the first form of medicine begins. It's about touch. It's the form of touch. When a baby is born, the first thing that happens is thrust in the arms of its mother, simply for touch. We rediscovered the power of connection. See, we create a space where people can be touched, they can reconnect, they can escape, they can enjoy relaxation simply in the form of becoming their best selves. We create a place where people can enjoy luxury for the first time amidst a group of people who have demanded it for a lifetime. You see, self-care and self-love is our motto. We are bringing luxury to this group, and we are moving forward. So why are we here today? Our why. Small businesses like ours are still in some type of struggle post-COVID. Yes, we have the right product, we're in the right location, and the right time and space. However, it's very difficult to attract and hire and retain good employees. We are hiring signs all over by small businesses. It is an issue of our survival as a small business. So we, as solution architects, decided that the answer was in my redevelopment job readiness alongside of our wellness care spa business. In other words, to create a school alongside of the Woodhouse business. A school where we could train students to apprentice and become employed after graduation. This career path gives therapists the purpose and allows them to serve in the global $3.95 trillion global hospitality industry and become part of the $935 billion industry of beauty and wellness while achieving a six-figure salary. With this continued mission to change lives and still build self-sufficiency, We can train students for luxury, and the skills will be employed by 5 separate wood houses in Georgia alone by 2025. We solved the problem of employees and for ourselves, and we opened the door for a cost of a 10 to 20K tuition versus an 80 to 100K college debt. We make an impact in the labor market with skilled employment and growth for underserved populations. The market in Georgia predicts a 28% job increase in massage therapy versus the national average of 22%. This tells us we're in the right market at the right time. We can empower and we can teach self-care one individual at a time. Healthy individuals make healthy communities. So I close with another book that I enjoyed by Simon Sinek, Better Together. Partnerships are the key to success. We're looking for partners to help create our school. It would take $100,000 to help us get there. This project helps us to continue on our commitment to empowering others. Who will join us? Who will join in our why? And why? Finally, in the words of my husband, legacy. Legacy is standing on the shoulders of others while we pave a way for those in our wake. This is my sailor. Thank you very much.
All right, all right. So, Paul, we'll give you the next question as you receive your gift.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for your service, too.
So my question, obviously we've just come out of dealing with a really tough crisis that had a huge impact on the economy. We are now facing rising prices, growing inflation. Families are having to make tough choices about what to cut out of their budget. How do you plan to, in the next 6 months to a year, continue to retain your customers, reach out, grow your customer base, and encourage them that this is a really important part of their lives?
I think what we learned about the COVID, there's always a silver lining, and that's how my spiritual mindset goes. We saw the problems, but we also saw families spending more time together. I saw mothers and daughters walking. I saw families riding their bike together because we took a pause, and we had to. And I think we learned that self-care and self-love is important, and that's why we had this great resignation, and that's why we're struggling. So we give discounts. My staff is committed to doing volunteerism twice a year, every 6 months, and we pay for that because we believe in being part of the community. But we'll do discounts and programs and everything. But our real main thing is to advertise in social media. You got to take care of self first. Put that mask on when you get on the plane. You can only put yours on before you can help somebody else. We work in stress, but we don't take care of ourselves.
All right, all right. Well, let's give Stacy and Hollis, Woodhouse Spa, a round of applause.
Thank you.
All right, now our judges are going to go off stage, and they're going to go ahead and tally up the votes. Now, I was just kidding earlier when I said we were giving out some Starbucks gift cards. We got something more than that. Also, I want to acknowledge Brandon Davenport, who sweetened the pot. All 4 contestants will receive a $2,500 grant from Shopify. Thanks to Brandon. Let's give Brandon a round of applause. So for the 4th place winner, we have Woodhouse Spa, Stacy and Hollis Howe. Come on out. And not only they get this certificate of achievement and $2,500 thanks to Shopify, but thanks to PayPal, they get another $7,000. Wow. Right, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, in 3rd place, we have Joshua Dixon with AdmireWear. Come on out, Joshua.
Thank you.
And in addition to the $2,500 grant from Shopify, thanks to Brandon, he will receive $8,000
That's awesome.
thanks to
Thank you.
Paul and PayPal. All right, it's getting hot up in here. Second place, we have Jasmine Richards with BLK Sunflower. Come on up, Jasmine.
Thank you.
And in addition to the $2,500 grant, thanks to Shopify, Jasmine, you get an additional $10,000 thanks to PayPal. Thank you, Paul. And last but not least, the winner is, drum roll please, Kayleen McLeavin, who's with Tasteful Vegan.
You did it, girl.
And again, in addition to the $2,500, thanks to Shopify, thank you, Brandon, you will get $15,000 thanks to PayPal. Thank you, Paul. Let's give all the contestants and our judges a round of applause.
You did it.
Thank you. God bless. We're going to do a quick photo op, and then we'll go to the next segment. Was that okay? Do you guys enjoy it? Thank you for supporting our 1 Million Black Business Initiative contestants. All right. Thank you.